front of you is facilitator Dorington. Today we are going to talk about integrated science, specifically on mixtures, elements, and compounds. So we are going to define what is a mixture. So we're going to say a mixture, it is a combination of two or more substances that are chemically combined together. So it means for a mixture to be a mixture, you need to have two substances that you have to bring them together and it has to undergo chemical reaction. Now, after that, specifically when I still talking about this mixture, we're going to talk about types of mixtures. Types of mixtures. Number one type of mixture we are having homogeneous mixture. Two, we are going to talk about heterogeneous mixture. What about homogeneous? What about these two types of mixture? One, homogeneous mixture. Let us define what is homogeneous mixture. You say this is a uniform mixture. By saying uniform, it means if you bring the two substances together, then they will form one layer. That's why it is making it to be uniform. So from this homogeneous mixture, we can still talk about forms of homogeneous mixture. Forms of homogeneous mixture. Number one, we're having solid homogeneous mixture. We're having liquid homogeneous mixture. Then we're having liquid solid homogeneous mixtures. So from here, we are going to give examples of some of the examples of the form of a homogeneous mixture. For instance, let us start with solid homogeneous mixture. Solid homogeneous mixture. So in this one, we're going to give an examples of solid substances that if you bring them together, you cannot be able to differentiate them. They look similar or they are uniform. For instance, you can say one sand and salt. Number two, sand and sugar. So you can just use those two examples as a solid homogeneous mixture. If you're talking about the second one here, liquid homogeneous mixture. Liquid homogeneous mixture. Number one, we're going to think of something like can take a juice and water. So we take water and juice. Another one, we can take ink and water and so on. Come to that is the liquid. Come to liquid solid homogeneous mixture. Liquid solid homogeneous mixture. Let's talk about now the liquid solid homogeneous mixture. For instance, number 1, you can talk of sugar and water. So it means that if you dilute sugar in water, then there is a chances of this even sugar disappearing in water, forming a layer. So for you to just identify, when you taste, then you just feel the sugary taste from the solution that you will be having. Number 2, you can talk of glucose and water. So in short, what you're talking about, these are, you have to look for the solid substance that can dissolve in water to form the uniform homogeneous mixture. So this is one of the things that you're talking about in relation to homogeneous mixture. So to do a recap of this, we need to know homogeneous mixture is a uniform mixture. Then we need to know what are the types or what are the forms of homogeneous mixture. Next, we are going to talk about the heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. We can say it is a non-uniform mixture. It is a non-uniform mixture, or it is a mixture that do not combine completely, but can be separated by physical means. So here we're having you can be able to separate different kinds of substance or mixtures when you bring them together physically. You can use a use of pair of hands, or maybe filtering and doing so on. So examples of forms of heterogeneous mixture. One, you're having solid heterogeneous mixture. Number 2, solid liquid heterogeneous mixture. Number 3, we are having a liquid heterogeneous mixture. So what about them? So we're going to elaborate more on the examples of the solid heterogeneous mixture, solid liquid heterogeneous mixture, and liquid heterogeneous mixture. Now, what about the solid examples? Examples of solid heterogeneous mixture. Remember, this given solid substance, solid are tangible substance that they do not have to mix. If you can be able to differentiate between two solid substances. One, bean and maize. Number 2, you can talk of sand and stones, and so on. If we're talking about solid. So also, when you go to solid liquid, examples of solid liquid heterogeneous mixture. So the solid liquid heterogeneous mixture, you can talk of one. You can talk of maize and water. You can talk of juice and stone. You can talk of ink and stone, and so on. So one, you can talk of ink and stone. 2, maize and water. 3, maybe sand and water. Okay. Lastly, in relation to that, we're going to talk about liquid heterogeneous mixtures. So in this one, these are liquid substances that do not combine together uniformly. So from here, we can give an example of one. We can talk of oil and water. We can talk of ink and kerosene. We can talk of several of them. So one can say kerosene and water. So here they form 2 layers. So we are having 2, diesel and kerosene. Number 3, water and petroleum. I think that is the end point when we're talking about mixtures, specifically on heterogeneous mixtures, of the types of mixtures that you're having, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures, their forms, and the examples of the forms of this given mixture. So as I conclude on this one, if you might have any question in relation to what you have just talked about, you can comment on our page so that you can be able to see or look at your question, and we can give you feedback by answering the question. So for more information, maybe if you want to add something on this, kindly reach on us through our page, and all will be okay. Subscribe and like our page.